So we are looking at Squad Foundations Liga Portugal. It's kind of similar to the Eredivisie. See, we've got quite a few done. We're nearly there. But there are a few twists. So we're going to have a look at the cards first, then talk about tactics and basically how to play against rivals, as well as showing objectives. So the first one is going to be Nuno Sanchez. High medium, left foot, 4-star skill, 3-star weak foot. Can only play left wing. Looks like a really good card overall. Maybe the balance could be definitely up in the finishing. So you're going to have to decide whether to put a finisher on him or an engine, for example. And only a flare shot. So let's have a look here. So we need to assist 10 goals using forward the Liga Portugal players in squad battles. So you can actually bring them off the bench. You don't need to have them in squad battles or in rivals. And we get ourselves this Cam, who's high-low, fantastic work rates. 4-star, 4-star. Can only play Cam, unfortunately. But look at this card. Look at the agility and balance for somebody that's only 5'9". He's going to feel like an unbelievable super sub, I promise you that. You need to just basically fit up his finishing if you're going to start him. Again, with a finisher, Chem Star, and you've got yourself an unbelievable card. With finesse shot trait as well, he's going to cause so many problems being 4-star, 4-star, high-low. This is a really good Cam. For doing that in one game on semi-pro, you are laughing. In terms of scoring 7 goals with finesse shots, if you don't know what finesse shots are, is RB or R1 with shoot, and you just put the angle either left or right depending on which way you want to finesse it. You can also do that in one game as well, and that's going to be on semi-pro difficulty or in rivals. Then it's just play 20 matches in squad battles and have at least 7 La Liga Portugal players in your starting squad. So your starting squad has to be the 11 players, not players on your bench. So the 11 players that start the game, you can always sub them off straight away if you need to. Don't forget, we have 5 subs as well. And then it's win 8 matches by 2 goals. So that means if your opponent has 1 goal and you have 2-1, you need to make it 3-1. 2 goals, 4-2, for example, or 2-0. It has to be by 2 goals. And we get ourselves Wilson Mananfa. I apologise for the name there. Looks like a really good right back, high medium, right foot, 3-star, 4-star, weak foot. Can only play right back as well. But if you put yourselves an anchor on this card, or even a guardian, for example, he is going to be one of the better right backs we've had in the game. And he has got really good balance and agility, acceleration, sprint speed. Just needs to boost up on his ball control if you want to be picky. But in terms of defensive awareness, get a guardian on this card. You're laughing. Only giant throw, unfortunately. Now we're going to have a look if you want to do this in rivals and you don't really care too much about squad battles. There's a couple things you can do. This is what I've been doing for the Eredivisie one. So basically, I'll show you my team and I'll explain what I've been doing and where. We'll just do it in squad battles, but imagine we are going into rivals. I'm not going to show you any gameplay. So let's say with this team, for example, we won 5-0 on semi-pro. But if we were to go into rivals, here is the team we would be using, for example. So we actually have 8 Eredivisie players on, but we can take one off. For example, we could take this guy off, Sangare, and put him off. So imagine you've got yourself the 7 Eredivisie players. You go into rivals. You want to put on your normal players that you would have on the bench. So, for example, De Jong would be on the bench, as well as other players. So we go to our club quickly and add them in. And this is what you want to do. Remember, you've got yourself 5 substitutes. So if your defense isn't very good, put on better defenders. If your attack isn't very good, put on better attackers. And the same for midfield. As you can see here, just putting on a few players. And immediately we would sub them on for the players that are lacking. So, for example, if I'm not a big fan of Sangare, I could put on De Jong, put Kessie there. And if I'm not a fan of Musiala, I could put Odegaard on, for example. And the same for the strikers. That is something you could definitely do. In terms of custom tactics, you want to press left trigger or L2 to bring up this menu here. Doesn't matter which one you select, it's just which way you go on your D-pad. So you always start in the middle. If you go 1 left, you go to defensive, 1 right, 1 to attacking. So we're going to be doing balanced, 70 width, 32 depth, balance, direct passing, width 70, 7 players in the box, 2 on corners, 2 on free kicks. And now this depends on how much you like your corners and free kicks. So I don't like being countered attack, so I have it on 2. If you feel like you're still being countered attack, knock it down to 1 on both. It basically means you only have 1 person in the box, but you can't be counter attack. If you're very good at corners and very good at free kicks, put it up to 3, get more options in the box. So as a formation, this is what you're going to be looking like. So you're going to want to have your 2 strikers obviously up front. Your most attacking midfielder as a cam. Your second most attacking midfielder as your right centre mid. Your most defensive midfielder CDM. And your second most defensive centre mid as a left centre mid there. So you've got yourself basically a 4 here and a 2 up front. And then in terms of instructions are balance, get in behind, balance, stay forward. Balance, 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 balance. Also the same, all balance. Get forward, balance, balance, and the rest are balance. And this is because your left striker, who's going to be your most clinical striker you have, or your most usable one that you enjoy using the most, is going to just sit on the last man, ready to go through with the through balls. Whereas these 3 players here, you want to have someone that's pretty good at passing as your second striker, are going to rotate round in a small triangle, making space. They'll open up the space and you'll notice that your left striker is ready to break through on the last man. And then if you get through, your other striker is also going to push through as well. So you've got yourself a 2-on-1 almost every time. Once you break the press, in terms of your left centre to mid, who's going to be the second most defensive, is going to be stay back by attacking, but everything else on balance. And our CDM is going to be balance, stay back while attacking, balance, balance, and cover centre. Make sure that's cover centre, not cover wing. That is because when you don't have the ball, your cam will go to left mid, your right centre mid will go to right mid, your one striker will drop down just a little bit, and your two centre mids or CDMs will drop into the defensive role, making you into a 4-4-2 flat. Very, very compressed, very hard to break down. I've been using this formation a lot, done it in most of my reviews as well. Your left back and your right back are going to be stay back while attacking, default, overlap, and default, and the same for your right back. Reason being, in terms of defense, let's say your opponent has a corner, trap catches the ball, your 4 players immediately run up the field. Your left back and right back will start pushing up as well, giving you basically a 5 attack on the right with an extra on the left. So you've got 6 attacking. Kessie will always stay back because he's going to stay back while attacking. And the same for your right centre mid, who will actually go left back if they rotate. So let's say you catch the ball, your left back pushes up the field, you throw the ball from your goalkeeper to your left back, you have this massive space open here. Soon as you switch the ball to kick it to the other side of the pitch, he will turn around and come back into your defence, making it back into a back 4 again. Your Sangre will push up a little bit, and you've got yourself a completely open plan of play here, and it's really effective. If you want to see some gameplay of how this formation works, it is on my channel. If you've not seen how to do the Eredivisie, I've also shown a bit of gameplay in that. Don't want to do it today because it's kind of the same thing. In terms of shooting outside the box, you want to make sure you do that Torella shot, which is outside your foot. And any other questions, please comment down below. If you are new to the channel, consider that like button, subscribing. Catch you in the next one.